I did want to, this talk kind of made me think about, what are the most, as when it comes to like techie things, what are you like really focusing on with your clients the most? Do you find yourself like spending the most time on lighting, or is it sound, or is it just
Hmm.
kind of like setting up their shot in general? What do people kind of, you find they need some of the most help with?
That is such a great question. And the crazy thing is, it's not even technology. Like
Hmm.
it's strategy, broadcast
Huh.
strategy. Because most people, like I said, they have this cool idea. They don't know how it's actually supposed to work for them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So they're coming in like, oh, yeah, like let's start a show. But how do I connect this with my product or service? Like, how do I make this relevant to the potential clients? How do I find potential clients? Like, you know what I mean? With the
Yeah.
show. And so I think, like, for me, like especially being on the front end side of this, like being when I'm talking to clients and things like that, one of the things that I feel like their focal points are is that they just have a lot of questions about, like, as a business owner, how do I take an online TV show and turn it into a revenue generating process for the business, right?
Hmm.
So we talk through broadcast strategy because we understand those are the things that are important to the client. At the end of the day, like if they don't look the greatest, they care that we make them look good, right? Like, because they kind of put that in our hands, so they trust that. So I don't have to have a lot of tech conversations with them,
Hmm.
aside from like their tech walkthrough when they're just, okay, like here's where you put the camera, here's where you put the
Gotcha.
mic, here's the background, and they're like they're good. They don't want to have tech conversations with me. They don't, you know what I mean? but
Yeah.
they do want to talk about, like, hey, like can when we do sponsors and things like that, like where do those go, and where can we, like, when can we incorporate things like commercials and like just different things
Yeah.
um about like sponsorship, also about like connecting it to their products and services, so different call to actions about helping them to drive traffic to different places at different times, I think is important to them,
Yeah.
and yeah, so like this is like it's a business entrepreneur's perspective. So they're it's very different than like nerdy techie people that jump on live streams and we want to talk technology,
Yeah.
but entrepreneurs, they want to talk money. You know what I mean? So like,
Yes.
we have those conversations with them, and I think those have been the most beneficial for them, also the most enlightening for them, because they're, again, you have to think about, like, they're adopting an entirely new process for
Hmm.
attracting and converting clients online. And some of the most successful businesses right now use online TV shows to connect with their audience and to convert their audience through social media. And so people, like, think about some bigger entrepreneur type brands like the Grant Cardones, Marie Forleos of life, right? They've been able to build this sustaining platform just by through video and having an online TV show that answers and gives value to prospective clients. And then so when they're ready to make an offer, people want more of what they have. So it's really about like introducing a solution, offering value at the front level, and then giving an invitation for them to go deeper into whatever it is that you kind of talked about. And so we follow a model that is like that, to where we're
Hmm.
telling them, here guys, like when we talk about content outline, we talk about, like, yeah, there's some things that may feel like repetitive in the sense of doing it over and over again, but you have to understand, like with social media, most people, unless they're finding you direct on YouTube, most people are not searching for your content, they're stumbling upon it.
Yeah.
And so keeping and holding their attention aside, like, it's going to start with the visual. Obviously, if it looks good and it looks compelling, it's colorful, they're like, ooh, what's that, right? But then after that, you need to make sure that you're giving value to them in a way that answers a need that they're already having. So helping, just strategize, helping the client understand how to content create with strategy in mind about how how to get them to their overall objective, whether that's growing their audience, whether that's, creating a show that drives traffic to their products and services. Those are things that you need to be adding value to at the front end, and then giving that invitation, like not forgetting to give that invitation at the end to say, guys, if you loved what you heard today, if you loved all today's free content and you really want to go deeper into this, or you want to know more about how to do this process or whatever, then make sure that you jump on our email list, or make sure that you download our survey or things like that. Like, these are the little pieces that make broadcast work for the client, right? A lot of times people will get on a broadcast and they'll deliver this amazing content, and it was valuable to the person who watched it, but they did themselves and their audience a disservice, because at the end of the broadcast, they were just like, all right, like, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. We'll see you on the next one, right? But they gave the audience no way to go deeper into what they're talking about, no way, no invitation for them to even check out their products or services or anything like that. And then they get frustrated because they're like, man, why isn't this working for me? Like, I did all these really awesome episodes. It's got like a ton of views, but no like measurable metric for, was this working for me, for conversion at any level, whether that's like information conversion, taking action, like basic action type of conversion, or monetary conversion. And so we teach them during that broadcast strategy what that looks like, and how your broadcast should be adding both value to your audience and to the business, right? So